Hey guys, it's Stog here. If you are seeing this now, it should be about a week before Christmas, if you're looking at it immediately, that is. And in spirit of that, I thought I would celebrate by making a little portrait slash painting composition, you can never decide what to call it, of Jack Frost. He has been one of my favorite mythical characters for a very long time, and I decided that I would look up a little bit about his origins. Now, I come to find out there's no clear cut exactly where Jack Frost comes from. Some find their roots back in Norse or even Chinese mythology. Like every culture has some variant of their own kind of Jack Frost in equivalency. But I did kind of settle on the current iteration of Jack Frost in all of his different forms, coming from the author Lyman Frank Baum. He wrote a book called The Life and Adventures of Santa Claus. Now, Frank Baum also wrote the popular book, you may have heard of it, The Wizard of Oz. When he wrote The Life and Adventures of Santa Claus, however, it kind of inspired a large amount of, I guess the best way I could put it is fan art, of people taking just a couple mentions of Jack Frost and suddenly exploding it into so many different variations that we have today. We've had the greatest of heroes and the most heinous of villains come out of Jack Frost, and there are so many different ways that he's represented. And in almost every case, Jack Frost is kind of a very hypocritical character. In some instances, he is both mischievous but lighthearted. I mean, he could be mischievous and malicious at the same time. At times, he is both an icy cold villain and comes out to be the good guy in the end. So it was just really interesting to start figuring out about it. Some Norse mythology actually puts him as a son of, or actually the grandson of Ymir, the father of all frost trolls. So that was really cool to find out. But anyways, I hope you guys are doing well, and that wherever you're at, you're staying warm. And with this piece that I was working on, I went ahead and I tried to do a different kind of setup than I usually do. I guess I'm trying to say is I stuck with what I'm supposed to be doing, which is more or less laying in midtones, then shadows, then moving on past that, and trying not to get so hung up in every single detail. Overall, this one only took me about 4, almost 5 hours to paint, so I was pretty happy with it. And the thing that I'm doing here is I'm using two different styles of lights. So I've got like a warm light coming from the right that's going to be a lantern on a table, and from the left is a cool light coming from outside. It's snowy, it's moonlight reflecting brightly off the snow, and we have Jack Frost sitting here in this chair, relaxing, reading a letter. And so to help sell the illusion of it being a letter, I am trying to warp the words. Now, if you do what I did, what I ended up doing, which is just taking a text box and warping it into place, go over it again with like a pen to muck up the letters a little bit so it doesn't seem so perfect. Because no one draws perfectly. Or, well, writes perfectly. I guess nobody also draws perfectly because objective, but, you know, whatever. So, this was a piece that I don't normally attempt. Most of the time when I make stuff, it's usually weird, wiggly monsters, or something horror-oriented or action-inspired. This one was kind of, I don't know, it was just nice. It just felt good to paint it. It was a nice change of pace anyways. And I'm making very liberal use of this warping and making more patterns in the background. It definitely saves a lot of time. And you definitely shouldn't be afraid to use some tools that'll save you a little bit of time. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you around next time. If you have any questions, feel free to ask below, send me a message, and remember to like and subscribe. Stog out.